Good morning. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Today I'm starting a new series, something I'm calling Word or Words for the Week. And what I hope to do in the coming weeks and months is to take a word or phrase from Scripture or from a devotional writer and reflect on that and give you each week a 2 or 3 minute video devotion that you can use during your week. And so the first one today is joy. And it really comes out of Martin Luther's experience as he founded and began the Reformation once he had discovered for himself the gospel. C.S. Lewis once wrote that joy is the serious business of heaven. He was convinced that sour-faced, joyless, grim spirituality was light years removed from what God intended for us. Instead, God seeks to fill our lives with genuine joy, with a joy that doesn't depend on the circumstances in which we find ourselves. Luther discovered the same thing to be true. Before he discovered God's grace for himself, his spirituality was a grim business. He tried and failed to make himself perfect before God. And as a result, he came to hate God because he believed that God was demanding something, perfection, that Luther simply couldn't give. But once Luther discovered that God is a God of grace and that God gives the very thing, the perfection that God demands, his spirituality, like everything else in his life, was turned upside down. And Luther began to advocate and to practice a joyful spirituality. Luther believed that we should rejoice in and enjoy all of God's good gifts to us. And so, as a result, Luther enjoyed life. He enjoyed his wife, Katie. He enjoyed their children. He enjoyed good food and a good beer. He was German after all, and besides, it was safer to drink beer than to drink the water back then. He enjoyed his work as a professor of the Old Testament at Wittenberg University. He enjoyed his colleagues and friends. They always had guests in their house. And he enjoyed making and even composing music. And so I invite you to take to heart the opening stanza of one of Luther's most famous hymns. Dear Christians, one and all, rejoice, with exultation springing, and with united heart and voice, and holy rapture singing. Proclaim the wonders God has done. Proclaim the victory God has won. How precious was our ransom.